This first lady's definitely overlooked. Do you even recognize her? It's Betty Ford, of course, who became second lady and then first lady after a few resignations. And if you were born on April 8th, then you share a birthday with her. Welcome to my series, Birthday Girl, where I cover one woman of history for every day of the year. She was born Elizabeth Ann Bloomer in Chicago in 1918, but grew up in Grand Rapids, Michigan. She loved to dance, even went to school for it. In 1948, she married Gerald Ford, who was her second husband, and in October of 1973, Spiro Agnew, who was the vice president at the time, resigned because he was super corrupt, and Nixon nominated Gerald to replace him. I do believe he picked him because he was like, both sides were kind of okay with him. And that meant that Betty suddenly became second lady. But of course we know that eventually Nixon himself also resigned. And so then now she was first lady. I do believe her and her husband absolutely did not think that was going to happen. So it was a complete shock. Betty was a feminist. She supported women's rights to choose. She urged Gerald to pick a vice president that was a woman and nominate a female Supreme Court justice, but he, of course, ignored her on those. She also supported the Equal Rights Amendment, or the ERA. Also, after she became First Lady, she was diagnosed around that time with breast cancer and underwent a pretty radical mastectomy, and she went public with it to try to help get rid of the stigma or maybe any kind of shame around breast cancer, and urged women and others to have earlier screenings so they could catch the cancer earlier. She also was very upfront and open with her struggles with addiction to drugs and alcohol, and of course she is famous for the Betty Ford Clinic.